All right, back to Canning Conversations number 23. For this conversation, I'm joined by Cammy Graham, who is currently a player at Stenhousemuir. Cammy, thanks for coming on and joining me. I appreciate it.
No problem,
Um,
mate. Thanks for having me on.
Perfect, man. You are like I said before I hit record here, you're the first player I've had on. So I'm interested to get chatting to you and see how you've kind of got to where you've got to, because I think it'll be a cool story for kids that are, wanting to grow up and play football. And certainly people in the local area that know you and maybe know me and listen to this can kind of hear a bit of your story and your mindset into it. And it might help them kind of get there and achieve that. So, yeah, man, thanks very much. I wanted to start by asking you, like I ask with everyone, how did you fall in love with football? Like, where did it start for you?
Well, I lived in, you'll know Aberlady. I lived in the wee village Aberlady. I've got a big brother who's 2 years older than me, and then I think I must have been 4 or 5, and my dad probably just took, I can't remember it that clear, but my dad must have just took, I think the story is my dad took me to one of Kyle, my big brother's games.
Right.
When I was 4, they were 6, and then I think I just joined in, and then from there I've just played Aberlady, played for other clubs since I was 4. I've loved the game, and then me, my dad, and my brother followed Hearts. We were big Hearts season ticket holders and that, and then from there I've loved the game. My brother's fell out of it a wee bit, but he still loves it. But I've just loved it since I can remember. To be fair, it's all I've done: football, this, football, that. So
that's
class, I loved it.
What, is your brother still playing now or not?
Nah, he's chose education and uni or whatever. But he still watches. We're all big Man United fans as well, so we're a big football family. So we all love the game.
I was happy with the Hearts say there, but not United, mate. That is a poor choice. Do you still go to the Heart? Well, obviously not now with COVID, but you still got season ticket and stuff or not?
Nah, we have to cancel it because now I'll play at 3 o'clock on a Saturday. So,
of course.
but I was at Hearts when I was younger, but then since then I've been playing at 3 o'clock on a Saturday, so
right,
I couldn't get to the games.
Decent. Makes sense. So, like, where did you start? So, did you start playing for Aberlady? Did you play for North Berwick, Gullin? Like, where did that all start?
Nah, I think from that day I went with my dad. I think I started playing with Aberlady Boys Club, just the wee village. Played there until I think I was 8. Good team, to be fair. We had quite a good team. And then when I was 8, Aberlady were a Saturday team, so we played every Saturday. And then I think I started taking it a wee bit more serious. So I joined a Sunday team. I joined Bonnyrigg Rose.
Right, okay.
So I was doing Saturday, Sunday with Bonnyrigg and Aberlady at the weekends. And then I think I was 9. I got picked up by Hearts from Bonnyrigg. So I was actually, but at that time, you're still playing with boys' clubs, your Hearts Boys Club. So I was playing Aberlady on the Saturday, then Bonnyrigg and Hearts on the Sunday.
Class.
And then, yeah, that's where I started. Aberlady and Bonnyrigg were probably my earliest memories for football.
When you say you started taking it more serious, like at 8, 9, like what do you mean? Like did you know that that's what you wanted to do at that age, or was it just someone said you were good and then like your mum and dad just continued to like take you along and stuff?
I probably didn't take it that serious because I was only like 8 years old, but
yeah.
I think a scout from Hearts was at a Bonnyrigg game, and then this must have been when I was 9, and I just went in for a trial. But even when I signed for Hearts at 10 or 11 as the pro youth stuff, probably still never took it serious. It was all about enjoying it because you're so young and whatever. I probably started taking it serious when I turned 14 or 15.
Right.
That's when I kind of thought, like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah. Were you buzzing? Obviously, you said that you support Hearts, so were you buzzing when that came up? Like even at that age?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was amazing, to be fair, because you're 8 or 9 and you'd see you're into the Hearts training centre or whatever, and Dad's a big Hearts fan. Like Hearts was everything for us, so that was a good moment, and it was a very good experience doing 7 or 8 years at Hearts, to be fair.
Yeah, that's quality, man. Who was like at the time? Who was like the big Hearts players that you were like watching on TV that you can remember?
I think so. When I was 8, it would be about 2010 to about 2012. It probably been like Rudy Scatchell and
quality.
I used to love him, to be fair, and like I think Rudy Scatchell, like, and then Jamie Walker and all that breaking through. Just players like that, and then the season they won the Scottish Cup when it was like Craig Beattie and all that. It was amazing.
Yeah. I remember that very clearly. That's probably like that kind of period was just before I went to America, so I was just
Mm.
I was just 18, so I was allowed to go to the pub in that. And I remember being out for like the
Yeah.
5-1 with Scatchel, and I remember watch Beattie score the pen in the semi against Celtic to knock them out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a cool time to be at Hearts. So you said you were there for what, 7-8 years.
Yeah.
What was it like? How did it change from when you first got there through to kind of towards the end in terms of the training as you got older? Like what changed for you?
It just, as you get older, it just seems to get, well, it does get more serious. Like when you turn 16, it's boys are getting full-time contract, boys are staying part-time, boys are
Mm,
getting released. And then when I was 16, I think there was maybe four of us got told part-time, and I was in that. So I was still at school. I was thinking it must have been fifth year or fourth year. I was doing 2 days with Hearts and then 3 days at school. And then 6 months into that, I did not enjoy that, being part-time when your mates are full-time. So I just thought, if I'm gonna get full-time, like, if I'm gonna move full-time eventually, I'm gonna need to like leave the club I love in that. And it was very hard, to be fair. But it was, looking back, it's probably the best decision I made, leaving in, I think it was December, must have been December 2018,
right.
2017. I just had a meeting, and we just said, if I'm not going to go full time, I'd rather go out and try prove myself somewhere else. But like, looking back, I don't have any grudges of that. Like, it was 8 years
Yeah.
of me going from a wee boy to a teenager, and definitely became a better player for it, because you're getting great coaching in that. So it's just because it got more serious, and it gets to the full time, part time, if you're going to make it, whatever. And turns out I wasn't going to go full time at Hearts, so I had to just take it on the chest and move on, to be fair.
Yeah. So you just, even at that point, you like had the desire, like you knew you wanted to really give it a go.
Yeah,
So no,
yeah, I
that's
knew, I knew then I wanted to. When I seen my pals go full time, I knew I wanted to make it in football. So
yeah,
I just
yeah.
thought, if it's going to happen, it'll be away from Hearts at this time. So
No, that's a smart move, man. Because obviously different culture, but I coached, out in America for 8 years, and you get a lot of obviously not to like that level of like a Hearts or whatever, but you still get a lot of kids that are, just not quite at the top end, and the parents
mm-hmm.
like, want to stick around, and they try and like force themselves into, or force the kids into like being the number one player on that team, and sometimes it's best to just take a step back and go, you know what, like this maybe isn't where it's going to work for me, and I need to
Mm-hmm.
look to go elsewhere and see what actually maybe better fits me.
Yeah, that's because we're massive Hearts fans. So we probably should have left 6 months earlier, to be fair,
Yeah.
when I went part time. But you don't want to leave the club. Like, you're a Hearts fan and you're playing for Hearts, like, you want to just do that as long as you can. But it was getting to the point where I wasn't playing. I was getting upset after games.
Mm,
I was hating it. So
mm-hmm.
what's the point of doing football if you're hating it? And that's probably one thing I've learned since I've left. At the clubs I've been at since, no point being if you don't enjoy it, because your confidence will go, everything will go. So looking back, it's probably the best thing. One of the, not the best thing, but it's not been a bad thing leaving Hearts.
Yeah, no, a good brave decision that probably in the long run was the better one for you. What what
Mm-hmm.
uh what would you say, like your mom, like what part would you say your mum and dad played in like helping you? Because that sounds like quite a level-headed decision to make, right? Like not a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people make that decision. Like did your mum like were your mum and dad helpful in that? Like, helping you along the way?
Yeah, they've been massive, to be fair, because they would
Mm,
run me to training every night, sit and wait, take me home. And then it's not going to be nice for them if they see me not enjoying my football at 15 or 16. So
yeah.
they were like, they probably thought, let's get him out of here and get him somewhere to enjoy football. And then must have then they convinced me, because I wasn't enjoying it when my pals are full time and I'm part time, and I'm not playing and they're playing, and you're playing, like, I was playing down age groups, like,
Mm,
because I'm quite a small guy in that. So it took me time to develop, and I played down a year. And just looking back, it was like, because if they're saying you're not going to go full time, that means I'm going to get released in 6 months time anyway. So
yeah.
I would have rather, the way I done it, I just thought, let's just leave it there and go somewhere else. So, but the parents have been massive still to this day. They're big in your football, because they support you. They run you to games. They watch games. if you have a bad game, they'll tell you you've had a good game or
Yeah,
whatever. So
yeah,
my
absolutely,
mum
man.
and dad have been massive.
Yeah. No, that's good. It sounds like it. From the way that you spoke about making decisions, that I could tell that your mum and dad have obviously been like a good influence and have obviously helped you along the way. So that's good. So you leave Hearts. Where'd you go from there?
So I left Hearts in December. I must have had about 4 weeks of just playing for North the school team.
Oh, okay,
I just
class.
I just I just played there for 3 weeks, and then
How was
I
that?
got
Like, how was that kind of stepping away from the pressure of being at Hearts to just kind of playing with your mates at school?
yeah, it was good. It's more just a laugh. Like when you're
Hmm.
playing for a school, you just go and enjoy it, and you're at games, and all your pals that don't play football are watching you, and it's just fun. And then from there, I wanted to get back in. I was never not going to get back into football, so I did from January to the end of that season in May. I went to St Johnstone
Oh, okay.
just to probably just to try enjoy it because I did play there to be fair, and I enjoyed it. Um, just played football, and then that never worked out. I just again, it's from here to Perth. It's a bit of travel, so
Uh,
I was still at school as well because they were not going to take me full time when I come in January. So um, that was just more about getting back into football and getting enjoying it. And then at the end of the season, it was more a travel thing. It was going to be part time if I stayed on that season. I was like, I'm not going to do part time with that travel. So again, that one was just like thanks for letting me come and train or whatever,
mm.
play football and get back in love with the game. But and thanks for that to be fair. And then that summer, I was just ready to probably knuckle down that summer and try get a team, which I did luckily.
Yeah. That's no. I think that's so cool. Your decision to leave and then you just played school football because like a lot of people and maybe even yourself at the time were thinking like I don't know. I don't want to use the word failure, but you know what I mean. Like oh, like you were here and now you're just playing for your school team. Like what's going on there? But you were actually just trying to take a step back and like work out what the next step was. And again, it's not a bad thing just to take a step away for a little bit of time. It wasn't too long, and you just get to play with your friends and, like you say, get the love back for it, which is the most important thing. Like we always talk about, anyone that knows football and loves football, like confidence, even at the highest levels, a
Mm.
big part, right? Like you see players like Timo Werner right now for Chelsea. You can tell
Yeah,
he's not got the confidence he had at Leipzig. Like he's trying, but he doesn't have the
yeah,
confidence. So just sometimes to be pulling out of that firing line and take a step back and just kind of like relax a little bit and kind of rejig your thoughts is not a bad way to go about it. So that was a pretty cool move that you made.
yeah. Well, look at Jesse Lingard. He's had no
Yeah,
confidence in Man United, and now he's flying. So,
great
but
point.
nah, I was never going to run out of fall and like leave football together. It was more
Hmm.
like it was hard. If you're a young boy, you're 16, and maybe at that point I probably thought, nah, football's not for me. Like I've
Yeah,
got exams coming up, I need to stick
yeah.
in or whatever. Um, and probably that whole season from starting at Hearts to ending it in May by leaving St Johnstone, it was all just looking back. It was a season that I wasn't there. I
Yeah.
felt like I wasn't there because I was young and I didn't really know what was happening. And then leaving both three clubs in the summer that followed that was probably what's got me to Stenhousemuir today. Probably.
Is that so? Did you go? Is that when you joined Stenhousemuir that summer?
Nah, so that summer we went on holiday to America, me
Oh,
and my
okay.
family, for 2 weeks, and then I came back and I got in touch with Greg Shields,
Hmm.
who's the reserve manager and now a coach, first team coach at Dunfermline. He invited me in for like a wee bounce game with everybody, when they were training in Edinburgh, and then from there he liked me, and then had a 4 week or whatever trial, and they gave me my first full time contract.
Oh, class. That's quality. Where did you go
Mm.
in America?
Uh, oh, we went to Vegas, then down to San Francisco, and then drove from San Francisco to LA. But even my dad says now, like that holiday, I was probably wasn't even enjoying it as much as I could because I was just thinking,
About
where
50.
am I going to be playing football exactly?
Mm.
But nah, it was it's an amazing holiday to be
Did
fair. Can't go wrong with America.
when you were out there at any point, did it cross your mind to maybe like go out there and play like in college or something?
Fair, I've spoken about that with my parents before, but it's never been like I'd rather do it this way than
Mm.
like work your way up in Scottish football than because I'm not a big fan of education or whatever. And if you go
Yeah.
over, you do some sort of education. So Nah, not seriously. I've never considered going over. I know a couple of boys that have done that
Yeah.
from Adelaide. Like they said, it was good in that, but I'd rather stick it here and stick at it here than move away. To be fair.
Yeah, it's a different experience compared to like what you've decided to keep going through. Like obviously my little brother Matthew, he went out there and played college for a couple of years and absolutely loved it, but it's not the same as what you've decided to kind of carry on
Yeah,
do. Like you say, there's a lot of pressure on the school stuff. Like you get told you're a student first and athlete second. So like you say,
yeah,
if you weren't like into the school stuff, then
yeah.
it's not a good move. You wanted to focus on the footy. So you're at Dunfermline, and then where does it go from there?
So that was what I wanted. I got a full time contract um, in the summer of 2019, yeah. And I've loved, like, looking back, even though I'm not there anymore, I still loved it. Like,
Mm,
it was amazing. Like, the coaches were amazing, all the boys were amazing. And it was my first real taste, but it was my first taste of full time. So,
right.
in every day, and I loved it a bit.
How
Um,
was that? Like what? How was that first full taste of full time?
nah, it's amazing. It's you're playing football every
Yeah.
day, and you're not thinking about school or anything else. It's unbelievable. And then that was just a great year because in January, the club were amazing with me. They put me into a flat,
Oh,
um,
okay.
so, so I got the first chance to like move out or whatever.
Mhm.
But then unfortunately, COVID hit at the end of that season, and that's really the reason I left because money and
Yeah.
nobody knew what was happening with football. Um, and stuff like that. But that wasn't. It was hard to leave because I loved it so much. But it's COVID, so
Yeah.
COVID's not been great for me anyway. So
Not for
um,
anyone, mate.
yeah,
Yeah. S- what would you say like for you? Like I know you said like full time, you're fully focused on football, but like if someone's wanting to be a player and they're maybe in that part time area and they're wanting to get to full time, like apart from just focusing on football, in terms of maybe the training and the demands that you get put on you, like what would you say are the differences between the part time and the full time?
it's just more professional. Like if you're part time, you'll play at the weekend. Then the mates that are full time will go in on the Monday for recovery,
Hmm.
and you won't be next in until the next training session.
Okay.
But if you're full time, you'll play a game. You're in the next day, and you're in the next day. So it's more. I don't know. It's more.
You're
It's
living
just
it
so much.
more. You're living
Yeah,
it
it's
more.
just so
Yeah.
much better because you feel more a part of it. Because when I was part time at Hearts, you don't really feel part of the team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when you're full time, you're in every day with the boys. So it's like for people that are part time, I probably just say don't give up. To be fair,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, and if it's not working at another club, don't give up. Go try another club because there's no harm in trialing every club in Scotland. There's no harm in
Absolutely
keep
not.
trying or whatever. So
Football's all about matters of opinions at the end of the day, and some coaches like some players and others don't, right? So you never know. You
mm,
you, you just need you honestly just need a bit of luck, right? Like you said at Dunfermline, it seemed to work out for you. The coach seemed to like you. Unfortunately, COVID hit, but like it seemed like you were in a good spot there. And that's just kind of what you need. You just need that little bit of luck with a coach that likes you, the way that you play, the
yeah,
style that you play, the type of person that you are. Think that a lot of people and some people don't get that luck, right? Sometimes it just doesn't
yeah,
it doesn't happen. Like I know a lot of players, people that were unbelievable players but just never got around the right people that kind of took them to a club here or said like I know someone at this club or whatever
mm,
and those guys are no longer playing, and I know some guys that are playing they at the time probably weren't of the level of those other guys, but because they got in with someone that liked them or knew other people, they kind of got a head start. So that's just kind of how it goes, isn't it?
yeah,
Um, so then obviously, so after COVID and everything, you've joined Stenhousemuir.
yeah.
How's that been for you?
Nah, I've loved this. This season's been amazing. Probably my best season I've ever had. To be fair, it's been amazing. Um, because it was Greg Shields that took me to Dunfermline. He helped me get in touch with Kevin McGoldrick from Stenhousemuir, and I went in before I went in as a young lad, and that. And now that's the season. Just you're playing men's football. That's what football's
Mm-hmm.
all about. That you're part of our first team. It's all about 3 points, winning, and all that. If you drop points, everyone's raging or whatever. So I've loved this season. I can't say that how much I've loved it, even if it took me time to play because I'm a young boy in a men's team. So it was more about when I got the opportunity, I took it, and to be fair, I feel like I did. I've managed to get a couple goals in the game time I've had. I've done well, so it's been amazing. Even though I'm part time now in a part time team, it's amazing because you're playing men's football on a Saturday at 3 o'clock. So
Yeah,
I've loved this year at Stenhousemuir.
that's good, man. What position do you play?
Attacking midfield, just find the striker, or I'll go out on the wing if I need.
Right, okay. Do you like for Stenhousemuir, like what shape do you play? I mean, maybe it changes game by game, but is there a certain shape that you play or what?
We've chopped and changed a bit this year. We've had something to the three at the back with the two up front, and I just play off the striker. Which is probably where I played my best game away to Alloa, to be fair.
Right.
Or we'll just play a typical 4-4-2 or a 4-3-3 where I'll probably be out on the wing.
Right.
But nah, it's been probably let it slip the last couple months or whatever, but it's been an amazing year and I've loved it.
That's good, man. How was it like? What's it like getting to all like when you travel to the games? I know the last year it's been a bit weird, but like, do you get a team bus all together? Like, what's the crack with it?
For COVID, we've only really had 2 team buses when we had away to Elgin and away to Peterhead in the Cup. But the buses, being around the boy, it's always good banter, to be fair. It's a shame that you can't go in the change rooms because of COVID, because I'm a young boy, so I probably would have got picked on a wee bit, but the banter's good, and the banter's good everywhere, even at Dunfermline in the change room, the banter's massive, and it's all fun and games until you step out on the pitch.
Did you have you found that at Stenhousemuir, have you found that, like you say, kind of playing like adult football, like did you find that the banter and kind of having to be the young one in the team, like was that hard to deal with, or was it all right? Like, was the group that you were with all right?
I'm probably a bit of a shy guy when I'm around men, to be fair.
Right, okay.
But the boys are amazing. Like, they'll give you a bit, to be fair. They'll rip into you sometimes, but they don't mean it, and it's all funny. But then playing in the men's, it's hard, like, because you're getting kicked up and down in League Two or whatever. Like, I remember playing the Scottish Cup at home to Preston, and they're obviously just coming to try beat us because we're a couple leagues above them. And I've never been so sore after a game. I must have both 2 dead legs and scratches or whatever. But it's amazing. Like, playing men's football at this age is everything in football, to be fair, because that's how you get out and get your name out there. So
exactly. They probably see you when you're playing as well. Like, they can probably tell you're a bit younger than the other guys, so they're probably trying to go through you and test you a little bit. Like, it's amazing. That was a really hard thing to do as a coach, and I'm sure it is for any coach, is like get across to parents and players that, like, yeah, of course, ability is a huge part of it. You have to be good to get to any level, but the underestimation of how important the mental side of the game is, and your situation where you're maybe younger, you're getting booed up and down by adults, you're in an environment with adults, you're having to deal with all that. Like, your mentality has to be extremely strong, and you have to be kind of, I know you said you're shy, but you have to be confident in yourself to know that, like, you can push through it and get through it and deal with it. And I just think that, like, players and parents probably don't understand, like, how much of an importance that has on, like, getting to the level you're at and continuing to keep going.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man. I think that that's something I want to I want to get more into, is that side of, like, speak to, like, sports psychologists and, like, understand that, certainly from, like, a kid's point of view, like how do you help kids with that? Because, like, it's really, really interesting. But no, it sounds like you're really loving it at Stenhousemuir, and obviously COVID seems to be getting a lot better. So, hopefully by the end of the summer, maybe heading into the October and stuff, like when the season gets back up and going, things will be a bit more like normal. Like, you get to do the change room stuff, you get to do the team bus stuff and all that, and you'll get to experience, like, kind of like the proper way that it's supposed to be done.
Yeah, but if, like, it would have been amazing if the fans were there, to be fair.
Yeah.
Even if it's, I don't know how many fans would be there, but just playing in front of people would have been amazing. But nobody can help COVID or whatever. It's been rubbish for everyone. So
unfortunately, no, that's another thing too, right? Like playing in front of fans, and compared to just playing in front of like a few mums and dads that come and watch, like that's another big difference that you need to be prepared for in football. Have you had games where you've played in front of a decent crowd, or?
I think I had a Scottish Cup final in S1 when I was at Broughton High.
Right. Okay.
But it probably wasn't a lot. But nah, I've not really had any experience of having like Stenny fans and then away fans or whatever. Nah, I've not had any experience with that.
Right. Okay. What I wanted to ask you as well, because like I've not been in this environment over here. I've seen it in the States, but like in terms of like your training, like when you're at Hart, St. Johnstone, Dunfermline, now Stenhousemuir, like what's the kind of training like? Like what's the day-to-day kind of, what do you do?
When you're young and that, it's more 2 days a week or maybe 3 days a week. Just like nothing tactical, whatever. It's more just possession, games, passing, and all that. And then full time at Dunfermline's when it was more structured, like day before a game it's a light session, day after a game it's recovery, and another 2 days they're full on sessions to get the most out of the session.
Right.
And then you've got one day off during the week, which was usually a Wednesday. And then sometimes you get a Sunday off or whatever. And then at Stenhousemuir, since we're only part-time, it's a Tuesday night, a Thursday night and a game on a Saturday, and both the Tuesday and Thursday sessions are just proper sessions, just hard sessions, because it's a wee bit tactical at the end of a Thursday before the game on the Saturday, but like the Tuesday, Thursday sessions part-time make up for missing it full-time, to be fair.
Right, okay,
When I first joined, I was a little bit taken back by how fit part-time boys actually are. Like they work in that, but they're still footballers at the end of the day. So like the training is not easy at all, and boys are on you if you're not doing it. So it's Stenhousemuir. Even though it's only part-time, mate, I seriously I enjoyed every minute of it.
Is there any whether you're at Hearts when you were younger, maybe not so much than Housemuir, because it is, even though you say it definitely gets treated like it's full time, it is part time. But is there any do you get any guidance on like the nutrition side of things, or is that kind of left up to you as like an individual player?
The only club I've been at where we've really talked about bulking up a bit was probably Dunfermline with the sports scientist.
Okay.
Because I've took time to develop. I was a late developer or whatever. So I think he gave me a sheet or whatever, how many calories to eat every day, how many gym sessions, what to eat, what supplements to have or whatever. But now it's more at Stenhousemuir, you're not a first team, you're expected to know how to keep your body or whatever. And that's where my mum comes into it. She's making sure I'm doing that or whatever. But I spoke nutrition probably at Dunfermline just to bulk up, because I still want to bulk up.
Yeah.
But now it's just if I want it, I need to do that. So
do you take that side quite seriously, or I mean, at least hope that you take it seriously?
With everything that's went on recently, I've probably slacked off a wee bit. But
of course.
I'm 100%. I'm the size of me. I'm clearly not letting myself go a bit. But I like a cheat day or whatever. But now that I'm back running or whatever, the diet's so important.
That's good, man. That's good. Because I talk about this with my mates all the time. Like footy players now are honestly probably athletes first and footballers second. I mean, like the shape mate. The shape that they're in.
And that's probably overtaking the game or whatever. Because now it's how far you're on each game and whatever.
So I just think that like if you're, if someone's coming through now and they're your age that you were at Hearts, like 13, 14, like I genuinely think if the club aren't doing it for you and you're not on top of that, even at 14 years old now, like I think you're struggling. Like I think you need to be really into that, like knowing your sleep. If you want to make it like the highest level, like that is just an absolute like must do.
100%.
For the kids now. So that's just I was just interested to see what kind of how you kind of take that, because it's something I don't know anything about that. Like I used to do my last kind of year in California, I worked in my cousin's company, which was like one-on-one private training and stuff. And that was an area before COVID hit, I was looking to actually like get more knowledgeable on, because, parents were coming to us asking those questions, because we're doing like private trainings about nutrition and weights and running. And like, it was tough to give advice because I'm not a sports scientist. Like, I don't know, I know football, but it's an important part of the game now. Like, it's an absolute must do for players. And I think that coaches, and if you're going to be private trainers, it's probably something good to educate yourself on, and then help people like yourself when they're a bit younger. So like, what if you were to give someone now that's, I don't know, about 12, 13 years old, maybe 14, and they're kind of part-time, and they're wanting to break through into being full-time, whether it be at the club that they're at or maybe going to another club to get there. Like, what's the one piece of advice you would give them, like your biggest piece of advice?
I'd probably just say make sure you're playing, and you're not like, if you're not playing, then the coach obviously doesn't rate you or whatever.
Yeah.
Just mainly enjoy it, to be fair, because sometimes I've not enjoyed it when I've not been full time, or when like this season I've enjoyed football more than I've ever enjoyed it, and I'm part time, but I'm still. You feel more. It's more just feeling part of it, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because it's quite easy at a young age to like, or let your head go, or like give up or whatever. But you just need to keep working hard and make sure you enjoy it, because I probably could easily have gave up and chucked it and looked at uni or whatever. But I thought, playing Stenhousemuir, it's League Two, your men's football, it's never the end. Like, look at Andy Robertson, he was League Two at Queen's Park, and now look what it is. So even if I stay League Two the rest of my life, I'm still playing football, and you're playing Saturday at 3:00. So that's the main thing, just to play.
Absolutely, man. And like, it's not. First of all, everyone doesn't want to make it as a pro, and secondly, like, everyone can't make it as a pro. So it's like, to the Prem or playing for Real Madrid or Barcelona, like, that is a minute percentage of people that play football that get to that level. For a lot of the things we talked about already, like luck, circumstances, hard work, whatever it may be, like, everything comes in and plays a part to it. But like you say, if you love it, as long as you're playing football, it doesn't matter kind of what level that you're at.
Doesn't matter what level or whatever.
No, it doesn't at all. Have you, like, what's your now like we say, hopefully, like, COVID's kind of gonna get better, and after the summer, hopefully heading into the autumn, it's things are a bit more normalized. Like, where do you want to see yourself in the next like 3 to 5 years? Like, what's your goals now?
My main goal probably is to get back full time.
Okay.
I think it's obvious, like, I want to be a full time footballer. I want to get back into full time or whatever. But see, to be honest, if I don't go full time and I'm wherever I just want to be enjoying football, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because things that have happened there's more to life than football, even though everybody loves the game. It's meant to be, it will be or whatever. So, but my main goal, I'm never gonna give up on going back full time. Like,
good.
When I'm playing, my name might be out there. So if somebody comes, then they come.
Absolutely, man. Do you like, would you stay? I don't know. Let's say that, hopefully for whatever reason, maybe the full time thing doesn't happen or whatever, and you hit a point where you're trying to work out what to do. Do you think you'd ever like get into coaching or anything like that, or would you just maybe move on and just play part time and do something else?
Nah, I probably would go into coaching. I've thought about it this year when I've not been full time. But then I started the year. I tried to put myself through a college course doing accountancy, but that wasn't for me. And then, as you know, I ended up working in JD in December just to get some cash. But this summer probably I'm gonna think about what to do outside of football. Because if I'm still part time, I'll need to do something else. But that was probably the hardest thing leaving Dunfermline. It was more, like, I'm part time now. What am I going to do outside? And it's quite clear that college and all that isn't for me. It'd probably be going into an apprenticeship or whatever, or looking into coaching, as you say. But there is options out there. It's more, this year was more about football and playing and focusing on getting my name out there at Stenhousemuir, and I feel I've done well and I've loved it. So
yeah, man. No, I think that, you know, if you love it and you want to be involved in it, coaching's a great way to go down it. And like you might start coaching like young kids, but you can very easily work your way up to start coaching adults. And like you see the game from a different point of view when you start to be a coach. It's quite cool. And like for me anyway, like when I watch it on TV now after coaching for so long, like I see so many things that I never used to see when I was younger and I just played, right? And so it's yeah, if you want to stay in it, I would advise you to do coaching. I think it'd be great for you if you're thinking about something to do, and especially now while you're part time, you can just coach the nights that you don't maybe play, and you can earn some cash, kind of go that way. But yeah, man, I think if you still want to do football all the time, that's not a bad way for you to go if you don't like doing college and that, because I know how that feels. That's not for me either, right? I'm sat here at home, almost been a year now too. Obviously met you at JD, been doing that, and I'm still no idea really what I'd like to do in terms of what people would class as a normal career, a normal life. Again, it's not really for me, so I'm trying to work that out too. But yeah, you got football's class, man. You got loads of avenues you can go down, and there's so many more things that are opening up now, like on the analysis side and stuff like that. So you'll find you'll find something. But the goal is to go full time. I think you definitely try and hammer that out for the next couple of years.
I'm still young or whatever, so
exactly.
If I'm 18, doesn't mean I'm not going to go full time when I'm 22 or whatever and do something for 4 years or whatever. You never know. So, but the main thing this year was all football, to be fair.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Well, look, I think we've covered your kind of journey, so to speak, pretty well. You know, you kind of went into good detail about it. And obviously, you know, now you're at Stenhousemuir, and we spoke about this before you come on, but like, you know, in the last few months, unfortunately, you know, you had a wee bit of bad news that you know, you kind of had some form of skin cancer, and you said that you'd be open to kind of just talking about it and making people aware of it. I know you have a charity, or we're donating to a charity anyway. And I think it's brave of you to mention it and kind of come on a platform like this and talk about it. I think that's a really good thing. So I don't know what you want to say about it, but I kind of want to give you the floor for the last 5 minutes to maybe mention it.
It's just, it was obviously the scariest thing I've ever been told that. And it's probably set back my football a wee bit because I couldn't play for the rest of the season or whatever. But it was more if it's any questions like that, because it's quite linked to my football, because the day football got the green light to restart was the day I found out. So
oh shit,
it was more like, geez, when's my luck coming or whatever.
Yeah.
But now I'm just sitting waiting on my results, and hopefully it's good news and it's all in the past or whatever. But it's been crazy, to be fair.
Have you had a lot of people, you know, reach out to you about it that maybe have had the same situation? Have you had anyone that's reached out to you that's maybe been through it or that, or not really?
Well, I put it on my Instagram just to try raise money, and I didn't expect it to get as much likes or shares or whatever as it did. I got messages from all people who have had it, footballers that I didn't even know would ever see it or whatever. But I'm fairly positive. Like, the hospital, the melanoma people, they've all been amazing with me, and like, the first 5 days, I keep saying this, the first 5 days were the hardest days, and since then it's more been, when's it over? Yeah. Because I'm just going to stay positive until something negative comes. So I'm just waiting on results, and I'm back running at football. I'm back with a ball at my feet. So it's all about getting the results and taking it from there.
Absolutely, man. I mean, obviously, just speaking to you here for the last 40 minutes or so, I mean, I feel like you have a positive mental attitude to it. Like, I don't feel like it's fake or anything. Like, I feel like that's genuinely how you've kind of taken it. And, you know, we touched on how you need to be mentally strong to be, you know, a football player, but like everyone in life's going to go through something, and you have to push through it. And like you said, first 5 days, probably a bit shit, but after that, you're like, look, I've got to keep soldiering on and hope for a bit of positivity. So I just think it's cool. I just think it's really good for how old you are, 18, like that you're open to talk about it and you're willing to talk about it, and it's only going to help other people that have any other issues, but specifically that one too, to feel more confident, should I say, and comfortable to speak out about it. So I just think that's amazing, man. And I'm happy that you were you were open to talk about it.
Thank you, mate. That is what it is. It's just need to take it on the chin and deal with what comes. And the operation couldn't have went better. It was sore leg for a couple of days or whatever, but now it's all about the results. And when I get them, and hopefully it's good news, and I'm back playing.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be, man. I'm sure it will be. So what charity is it?
Melanoma UK.
Melanoma UK, okay.
I was diagnosed with a type of skin cancer called melanoma, so
okay.
I just thought I could have done cancer research or whatever, but I thought let's put it to Melanoma UK, and I got in touch with them, and I've been on Zoom calls with them, just talking about getting people's stories, sharing my story or whatever, and now the sum of money is amazing. I think it's over 7,500, and I think my original goal was maybe 1,000. I think I can't remember what it was, and it kept me busy. I done the walk up Ben Lomond, bit of fitness, kept me busy, and just waiting for the op to start. And since the op, it's all been rehab, so
good.
It's all been good.
How was going up Ben Lomond? That looked cool. I saw that on your Insta.
Nah, that was an amazing day. Done it with my mum, sister, and dad, and the 2 dogs came. But my mum just took the dogs down because they were never getting up that. But nah, it was an amazing day, and it's for a good cause, and is what it is. I got no point sitting in bed worrying about the op or everything coming. So I thought let's just try to raise a bit of money and let's do something.
Yeah, man, you've absolutely. I think that's the best way to go about it, and that's class. How much money you've raised, and obviously, I'll put this out there, and I'll maybe get the specific link off you and everything. And I'll tag it, and I'm sure a few of your pals will listen to this, and people from school, and I'm sure they've probably already donated. But anyone that maybe on my end that listens to this that doesn't know you and hears this, if they went on and donated as well a little bit of money, I'm gonna do it myself too after this.
Thank you, mate.
No worries. That would be absolutely class. So I'll link that in here. But I think we'll finish on that, Cammy. I think that was really good, man. We'll just stay on for a couple of minutes after I hit stop here just to kind of recap it. But that was really good, man. And the football side of things was great. That was cool to hear from you. Like I said at the start, you're the first player I've had on. So it's cool to start diving into that. And, I'm looking to speak to some more players. And then obviously finishing off with that little story there, which is important for people to hear, was good. So thanks, man.
Thank you, mate. Thanks for having me on.
Perfect, man. No worries. I'll hit stop now, and then we'll recap. But for everyone that listens, thanks. And go ahead and donate to the charity. We'll link it here. Thank you.